Guys, we're back on Madden Sunday, playing the Saints today. Yeah, we're playing the Saints today. Excuse me.
Today, from FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland, it's Week 5 of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Ryan Fitzpatrick and the Washington football team taking on Jameis Winston and the New Orleans Saints.
We are just inside the Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome as we come to you from FedEx Field here in Landover. They love their football in this part of the country, and this crowd is ready to go as their guys will match up with the New Orleans Saints. The first quarter of the season already in the rear-view mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. First drive coming up here for this New Orleans Saints offense, and leading about a quarterback here in 2021.
Jameis Winston still got them undefeated.
Jameis Winston.
And I thought it was a really nice performance last week by him. 3 touchdown passes. I think that signifies exactly what he was getting done. He did have the 1 interception.
But that's the ratio you say you're okay with, right?
If you go 3-1, you're going to be pretty happy over the course of a season. And let's face it, he'll never blame the receiver publicly. But behind closed doors, he probably told his agent, hey, what's the deal? I should have a perfect game.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. The numbers there for Camaro from a week ago. 23 carries, 99 yards.
Are we playing old school football now? We got the top 10 rusher in the league. He's sitting at number 10, but he has a chance to move up with a big-time game. So expect that offensive line every time they go to the bench and tell the offensive coordinator, let's run the football.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Working out of the gun, Winston. Throw left side complete to Troutman. And CD, defensively, you're going against a hot quarterback coming off a 3-touchdown game in their victory a week ago. Well, what's the big key for them to try to slow him down?
You ask all the tough questions, don't you, partner? Because with this guy, if you blitz him, he takes advantage of that man coverage and burns you. But if you bring on those extra DBs,
there we go.
he sits back there and does what he wants. To me, it's going to be those DBs. When they catch the ball, big-time tackles really put it on those receivers.
On 2nd and 10. Winston dancing to his left. And he's going to have to
Yeah.
get this one as down he goes. Jamin Davis in there to drop him, and that will go in the books as the first sack of his young NFL career. Congratulations, young man. A week ago, they dominated in the trenches. They got in the backfield for 5 sacks, setting the tone there, one of the opening drive.
And it sets the tone for the opposing team, doesn't it? Remember when you were a kid and you went to the theater and saw that horror movie and it stuck with you for a while and you were a little bit jumpy? Well, if you saw 5 sacks the previous week and you're the quarterback, you might be a little jumpy.
And now look at this. Big gain.
Yeah.
And it's Washington that scoops it up. The
Whoop,
Washington
whoop.
offense about ready to go to work. And at quarterback in his 17th season now in the NFL, piloting his 9th different franchise, it's Ryan Fitzpatrick.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him the win. They'll run for the first time with Antonio Gibson. The numbers on the ground for Gibson a week ago. North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you know, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good, too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
On 2nd down, here's Gibson again. And he'll work it across midfield.
There we go.
45.
Antonio Gibson is an absolute dart with the ball in his hands, and he can make you miss, and he can run over you. Took a little while to crack the starting lineup as a rookie, but boy, was he sensational when he did. Went for 115 yards and 3 scores in a Thanksgiving Day clobbering of the Dallas Cowboys. And Washington, they feel like they had a real find when they took him in the 3rd round last year, number 66 overall, and he justified their decision.
And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line.
Very good as a rookie. Terry McLaurin was even better in 2020. 87 catches for 1,100 yards. He is definitely wide receiver 1 for the Washington football team.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. This defense for the Saints, they were very strong in the win last week over the Giants.
There's a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first. Fitzpatrick.
Dang it, Fitzpatrick.
Complete. Dustin Hopkins now for the Washington field goal. This from 36 yards out. And Hopkins' kick is good. And it's 3-0 Washington. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
And we will not see a run back here from Harris. New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their 2nd drive. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punch in the end zone without turning it over.
Calling a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave them with a 3rd and about 5. Jameis to throw it. Oh, that gets into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off by Landon Collins. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Zach Ball there on the tackle.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to
try to get it to Thomas. He's intercepted.
God damn it.
Picked off by Quan Alexander. And the Saints will take over here just shy of the 30. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
Dang it, man.
A big hole there. How about him handling the point of attack? Just positioning himself so that run could go right off of his backside and deep into the secondary.
Now Kamara. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple. Winston now from the 50.
Oh, where the hell is everybody?
Back Kamara. Touchdown.
Damn it.
Alvin Kamara, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Saints have taken the lead. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who's a complete guy who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
Yeah,
Looks
man.
good on the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Fielded just outside the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Antonio Gibson and the Washington offense ready to go here once more. Whatever he was doing in September, they're hoping that that carries over now to October because he was sensational last month.
He absolutely was, and we all know where it started at the end of last season, right? All the offseason preparation, the weight workouts, the sprints, right? The vision that he had, what he was going to do this season, and of course it all came together with the rest of the team. Those big fellas up front, leverage, and boy, are they getting downfield and creating extra blocks for them.
They really are. Everyone's been doing their job so far to create those holes. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. Fitzpatrick going to give to Gibson. They'll wind up getting 4 down to the 36. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. On second down, here's Gibson again. Gibson gets hit and he fumbles it. And this is picked up by the Saints. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Obviously, and now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. And the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need good position of football.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. And now this
Oh, come on!
My goodness.
Where's the pass interference?
All right, work with me, partner. This is a classic understatement. Their execution has been very poor. Last 3 drives, 2 interceptions and a fumble. Winning football? We're not seeing it right now.
And tackle his ass. Come on, guys. Got 40 yards already.
40 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Staying on the ground on first with Kamara.
Oh, come on, guys.
To midfield across the 45. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. From the gun, Winston. On the move to his left. Winston into the slide, and he's
I hear my guys pulling up. Jesus Christ.
Time will be called here as Washington has an injured player down on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Oh.
Kamara with a carry there on 1st down as he works his way forward for a pickup of 4.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
And his throw here's incomplete. Well, those two have hooked up for a touchdown once already in this game. That time unable to find the completion.
Yeah, it just appeared they wanted to get him out into open space and try and get him the football. As you mentioned, unable to connect.
On 3rd down, Winston.
Oh, come on, guys.
And they're going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 27-yard line. Back to the ground, it's Kamara. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
Well, it would help if you guys
guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
And he's heating up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16. If you're going to run against this unit, especially down here, just beware. I mean, they're the top rushing defense in the league.
Yeah, and then they go ahead and they double down with the whole thing because you think, okay, let's throw the ball. Oh, yeah, that's right. They defend the pass pretty well, too. Very difficult task right now.
Rolling to his
Oh,
right.
thank you.
And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down. Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. On play action, Winston. They'll roll him out right.
Oh, come on!
He is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans.
That's bullshit.
Jameis Winston with touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Lutz to try to add the PAT. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. So the drive goes 75 yards, 10 plays. And it was finished off with a 10-yard touchdown scamper. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Washington ready to try again on offense. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say that great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I
was going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes. With a heavy set out there, 3 tight ends in the formation for 3rd and 3. They'll run with Gibson, and he won't be close to a first down.
Where are my blockers? Come on, dude.
No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down. it's Fitzpatrick. Flush to his right. Now Fitzpatrick.
Oh, come on!
And this is picked up by the Saints. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. And the aggressive play call simply does not work out. You're on your own side of the field here, punt it, right?
Yeah, I would agree with that. There's a time for analytics and a time for being aggressive, but not with this field position. There's also a time for good old football.
Tackle, tackle, tackle.
Defense take over with better field position.
Second quarter action, 1:56 remaining. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach. Love the idea, love the concept, but you got to leave a little room on the sideline so he can fade into it when he makes the catch. That was thrown too close to it for the receiver to make a play.
Come on, that's bullshit.
And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. Throwing, Winston. Rolling to his left. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then
Where the fuck are the holding flags, man?
He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down. To throw, Winston.
Oh, that's bullshit. Come on, guys.
The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Here's Winston. Touchdown. Traquan Smith.
Hopefully second half we can do better then.
Now on the year. And the Saints add on to their lead.
This is bullshit.
So 3 drives, 3 touchdowns, and they're a PAT from going up 21-3.
And there's no doubt in my mind, you're liking what you're seeing so far, aren't you?
It's been unbelievable. Like a well-oiled machine, if you will.
What's really tough, though, that defense, they're leaping the shadows at this point. They don't know which way to go. They're being hit in every direction, and they have no answers thus far.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Washington going to go on offense now late in this first half. And with a little under a minute remaining, they may try to put something together here just to try to cut into that deficit. That is in.
Why does it do it to me?
Hasn't been his best game throwing the football.
Why doesn't it do it to the other team?
A lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half.
Bullshit. Come on, guys.
Challenge a successful one. On play action, Fitzpatrick. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. 1st and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And he'll get this back.
Damn right I'm
fucking down to the
all that shit
47-yard line. So a costly penalty yardage-wise as that'll move the football down to the spot of the foul.
I don't know, man. They refs. That's the first time the refs helped me today.
You get a lot less leeway in terms of
I'm trying, man.
at the end of the play. But if you're looking for the football, it's less likely
I'm trying.
Now Washington going to use the second.
I didn't even get the killed this bad.
It comes with 22 seconds to go here
Playing against the Giants.
On 1st and 10, Fitzpatrick hitting Samuel on the slant. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half.
Well, the Saints, for some odd reason, Jameis Winston and the Saints are undefeated in the season.
If that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Fitzpatrick.
Oh, one-handed catch.
Touchdown, Washington.
Oh.
Curtis Samuel.
Yeah, it's the same thing every year. That's why 22 was the last one I bought.
Until that late score here in the 2nd quarter, they only had the field goal, so that's just big to see that football get into the end zone.
Yeah, when you look at the scoreboard now,
I'm surprised they didn't call a pass interference.
In the first half, but when the clock hits zeros as they head into the half, you know what I mean, head coach? I tell my team to sprint.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying, dog.
Show that we've got the momentum and show that we're right back in this game.
Dustin Hopkins on now to add the extra point. It's up and
I was doing the only other game I was doing bad and what pissed me off was the Giants.
And the result, a touchdown for Washington. Seconds, all that remain here this first half as the kick gets away. On the return, Deontay Harris.
Yeah, I did the sky kick just to run the time out.
We have reached halftime with the visiting Saints out on top.
How's your day going, D?
Down to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in just a bit. But first, let's get everybody caught up with what's going on around the NFL here in Week 5. We'll begin up at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. And that one's got a halftime with the Panthers out to a good lead. Christian McCaffrey, a touchdown run in that first half. Next, we'll stay in the NFC South. We head back here to Florida. Check on the Bucs at home in Tampa. And in that one, it's the visiting Dolphins who are out in front.
Tom Brady's ass. Holy moly.
For Tua Tagovailoa. Lastly, let's head up to the Twin Cities to check in on the Vikings at home in Minneapolis.
Ooh, and that game is tight
up as they do battle with the visiting Lions. In our game has been Jameis Winston. He's been on target in the first half. He's thrown for 2 touchdowns, and he has run
Winston,
for
I don't
another.
know, man.
As for the call of the second half, we turn things back over to Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Washington down on the scoreboard, but they are getting the football first here, and we are back underway on EA Sports. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Washington offense ready to go to begin the 3rd quarter. Right out of the gate, they face what you think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense.
1 yard.
Start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
David Onyemata there on the tackle. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Throwing Fitzpatrick.
Oh my God!
Taken down here by the Saints. Credit that.
It knocked my running my release valve over.
It's not panic time yet, but let's be honest about it. Empty possession here, not what you're looking for when you're down a couple of scores.
Absolutely not. Trying to start the second half off on the right foot. Unfortunately, going to give the ball up. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Buying time to his left. And that will be incomplete. Here's Tressway now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. It'll be a 41-yard punt. Give him 5 on the return.
Now, if only
if
only the defense can fucking do something, D.
So here are the Saints to take over. They're working on a 4-game winning streak, and they lead this one as well right now as they start 1st and 10. Winston now.
How is that fucking roughing the passer? Watch, they're gonna fucking rip us off, D. I kind of figured that.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
Bullshit.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Now Winston. He's got the tight end, Vanan. That catch good for only a couple.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain.
Oh my God! Yes!
The ball's out, and it's Washington that scoops it up.
Oh, thank God.
Turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So potentially a turning point here in the 3rd quarter. That swings the door back open just a bit.
Yeah, they're still down 2 scores, but I do think we're at that point in the game where you're going to reach for the football whenever possible. You're going to hear the coaches scream from the sidelines. Tackle him. 2nd guy in, tackle the ball.
43 yards on the ground for him so far.
And that run there does nothing but juice up the guys who are moving the football. I mean, if you're an offensive lineman, people running it, actually the guy calling plays, you're almost jumping up and down in jubilation, aren't you?
Yeah, now you've got options on 2nd down.
And big-time options. You might want to think about play action and try and get something cheap.
Oh, finally Gibson is doing something.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Fitzpatrick now to throw on 1st down. He's going to drop this one down to Gibson. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line.
A couple of 1st downs right in succession, and this is an offense that can really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
On 1st down, Gibson, and give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Off the play fake here, Fitzpatrick. He'll buy some time right. He'll air this one out deep for Sims. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
Oh.
This is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Saints 35.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Back to the ground with Gibson. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Come on, guys.
On first down, just 1 yard there.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
On third down, Fitzpatrick. That'll be caught. It's Steven Sims. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints 16.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
They'll run with McKisson. And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Fitzpatrick. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Marcus Davenport picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
That's his 2nd sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good.
Touchdown, D!
Curtis Samuel, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And Washington able to make this a close game again.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that in your podcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
Fitzpatrick going to throw for it.
Oh,
Toward the
damn
end
it.
zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Tough there. Good pass. Hit the hands. He just couldn't bring it in.
And every receiver's coach everywhere. Seeing that play, focus, focus, focus. Watch it all the way in and tuck it away.
All right. Now we got to stop him and score again.
Harris, and the drive will begin at the 25. Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way
did it
around.
go
You're
to
hungry
the...
to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Winston to give, it's Kamara.
Oh, come on, tackle his ass.
Down right around the 37.
Damn.
We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Hey, Bean.
Winston. He'll get this one underneath to Kamara. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. To throw is Winston.
Yes.
They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted.
Yes. We're back in the game, D.
40-yard line. That's where the return stops. A seismic shift in momentum here in the fourth quarter. That's the break that the defense needed.
And you know as well as I do, people are going to question the play call in that situation. Sometimes you have to question the execution, not necessarily the call. And in this case, those defenders found a way to give their team a chance.
The drive starts with a completion left side. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination.
There we go. We're back in the game, guys.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Fitzpatrick throwing complete. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. And it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. 67 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. 2nd and 3 with the ball sitting on the 5. Here's Fitzpatrick.
Yes!
Taken in for a Washington touchdown. Curtis Samuel there to make the grab. And Washington has retaken the lead. So from 3 scores down, these guys have fought all the way back to grab the lead. And I'll just tell people what happened when they went up 3 scores. I wrote on your paper 2 words, game over, and now I'm eating those words. I was wrong.
A little salt, a little pepper, goes down pretty easily.
I will admit when I make a mistake.
Well, it looked like it was going that way. This is one of those paging
Up by a field goal.
moments. I can't believe I just brought that up because Frank Reich at Maryland in college did it to my Tennessee Volunteers, and that was a big reason why my team lost.
Sounds like he still harbors some pain from that game.
You know, we still got a little time to work it out with the doctor.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. Here's Harris to return it. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Time again to see Jameis Winston and this Saints offense.
Are you DH Baller on YouTube then?
That might be one we look back on and say that was the turning point of this game.
Hey, partner, guess what? There's still time for a few more turning points in this ball game. They're only 1 score down.
Yeah, true. We could have some twists and turns. Stay tuned. A good start to the drive here as that's caught out on the left side. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long.
Put her outside then.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
No gain on the screen there. It's 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but
Stinky butt. What did you say, Mama? Stinky butt? Yep.
even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. To throw again on 2nd down. Winston.
Where is everybody?
And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. He is tough to bring down, Jameis Winston. Yeah, Charles, I remember calling a baseball game of his. He played baseball at Florida State, too. And you saw his legs, tree trunks sprayed in to those baseball pants. I said, how could anybody bring this guy down?
And that's part of the beauty of his game because he has that toughness, that thick body. He may not beat you sprinting, but he's real sharp with his mind, and he knows how to get away from people.
From the 39, Winston. And oh, Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Jimmy Moreland.
Bring it back to the house.
Back. It is a pick six for a Washington touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
I don't know who he was trying to throw it to, but
Now it's Hopkins to add the extra point.
up by 10, D.
And his guys will take a 10-point lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This taken in at the goal line. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Alvin Kamara and the Saints set to start their next drive. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
Now it's Kamara in the passing game. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll make it a second down. Winston. Rolling to his right. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's third down.
Looked at me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield, and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment, but much more emphasis on making sure they knew where he was when he decided to take off and go.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports.
2 minutes warning, and we're up by 10, D. Doggy.
So it's
Doggy, I might stop their undefeated
They've got a
streak.
1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Now this one to his tight end out on the right
I don't
side.
know why
And
it
he
keeps
gets this to the other
putting
side
me
of
at
midfield across the
someone so
45
far away
before
from
going out.
ball.
Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Here's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. Now a loose football. The ball comes out. And
Yes!
Washington that scoops it up. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
Trutman is butterfingers today.
To put points on the board. It was needing to, having to, and they didn't get it done.
Yeah, didn't get it done, and now you look at the situation and the point differential, 2 scores, pretty much game, set, match.
How about the takeaway, though, huh? How about those defensive guys?
The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Gibson again. And he'll get this up to about the 40. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On third down, here's Gibson. And he brings this up to the
I don't know why they burned the timeout there after I got the first down.
Now the Saints will use their third and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. They'll try to run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
But from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up.
D, we came back from behind, man.
They now have the advantage.
Doggy.
3 3-yard gains. That means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
Coming up on 2nd and 7.
Get out of the garbage.
Here's a give to Gibson. It's a first down and more for Gibson. And finally taken down at the 35-yard line. 99 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Victory formation.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. To a knee goes Fitzpatrick, and that should just about do it. Charles, in this one, I think the storyline really, the 4th quarter, coming into it neck and neck, but they were able to separate, put their foot on the gas, and get the win.
And since you mentioned neck and neck, I'm going to stay with a little bit of a horse racing theme. It was that close, and then really went into the gallop and finished it strong.
One more horse racing theme.
Go.
I am glad you posted today.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So for Washington, they boost their record up to a strong 4-1. And they'll have another home date next week as the Kansas City Chiefs come to town.
We came back from behind.
New Orleans, it was a good first month, but they'll fall to 4-1 as they suffer their first loss. And perhaps fortunately for them, they'll get an early bye next week and come back to action in Week 7. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL.
Whoop, whoop. Whoop, whoop. Holy moly. Oh, this next game we're going against Patrick Mahomes, doggy. Two tackles, 2 interceptions, 1 fumble recovery, 1 touchdown for Jay Moreland. who's returning from injury. Jonathan Allen. Defensive tackle. Oh, we got a lot of the defensive tackles on the team.
I used to see people make shirts that say London, New York, Chicago, and LA. And I used to be like, okay, at what point in time are y'all gonna change this shirt? How you not gonna put Atlanta on it? What do we have to do to get Atlanta on that t-shirt?
Well, we want to make our mark and we want to be respected. We were deep in the dungeon, down there like some young Jedi's just trying to hone in our craft. When you think about the rise of the South, in terms of hip-hop, but in terms of pop culture, Atlanta is the heartbeat, the benchmark, the bellwether. The burgeoning hip-hop scene in Atlanta, tremendous star appeal, all of that coming together was a real burst of excitement. And Atlanta hip-hop would derive inspiration from the city's biggest sports stars. Pulling up in fancy cars, wearing gold chains, going to the club, staying out all night, all contributed to the inspiration of the music scene.
What are you squeaking about?
Atlanta video, I got the black shoes, same gloves. I think that like I wore the gloves. I thought that like that's not something that I don't know if it's rap, but it felt like hip hop.
Andre and I, we were those kind of dudes that we're gonna do what we're gonna do. And bringing that to the table and not being apologetic for it, I don't think it had been seen yet. The Falcons were making their mark on the culture, but not on the wins column. With the season on the brink, opportunity knocked in the form of a familiar foe.
This is the time to make our mark. Win in San Francisco on the road. People are open their eyes about the Falcons. You're on the map.
When the Falcons beat the 49ers, your first reaction is, this is a fluke.
Today, from FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland, it's Week 6 of the NFL on EA Sports.
Week 6, D.
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback to Ted Sales over the end line. The Chiefs offense now ready to go to work for the first time, led by Patrick Mahomes, the 2018 NFL Most Valuable Player.
And he's playing at a very high level here in this early part of the season. In fact, he leads the NFL in passing yards. Now, that's not always an indicator of success, but in his case, it is.
Play action. Now it's Mahomes. Throw over the middle, caught by the tight end Gray. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high power, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score. You give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout. And that means your offense has to keep pace.
Throwing is Mahomes on third. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact.
Yes.
Incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
A 40-yard punt, give him 3 on the return. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. The Washington offense about ready to go to work. And at quarterback in his 17th season now in the NFL, piloting his 9th different franchise, it's Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Okay, I'm not taking a turn to negative town, even though it's going to sound like it. The 2 interceptions he threw last week, those obviously have to be eliminated. That was the focus of practice this week. But let's face it, he did throw 3 touchdown passes.
And they got the win.
So I think it was a good week for
Oh,
him.
he got tripped up, guys.
Had some positives. The win being first and foremost. Now he's just got to eliminate those interceptions.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Off the play fake to Gibson. Fitzpatrick. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down.
Woo!
Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to...
You got this, CC.
So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him, and he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 42-yard line. A handoff for Gibson, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The numbers on the ground for Gibson a week ago. 19 carries, 103 in the yardage department.
He's having a nice season, and he knows where he ranks in the league. Don't ever let him...
I saw the chat. I don't know exactly where it was. Hey, what's up, Ed?
Running back tell you that they don't know that. They do. So what he's doing now is lobbying the offensive coordinator all week long. Hey, how about a few more touches? He's one big game away from maybe leading the league.
Incomplete on the deep ball.
I'm looking at this one by defensive eyeglasses on, because you remember the old days when a tight end saw a linebacker covering him and thought he had a mismatch? But the way they can run nowadays, not necessarily so. They gave it a shot downfield. That one incomplete.
You is back. You is back. How you been, man? Speared for a bit.
First, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Fitzpatrick. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down.
That's good.
Big time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves,
How's things going for you? How's life treating you?
shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
Fitzpatrick complete there to Gibson. That catch good for only a couple. This defense for the Chiefs, they were terrific last week in the victory over Buffalo.
But we certainly had a nice conversation.
I'm doing good.
Coordinator, didn't we?
Doing this plus my regular job.
But we definitely need more pressure on the quarterback this week.
I'm always working.
On 2nd down now, it's Gibson. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
Here's the
always
7th
working,
play of this
always
drive.
working,
This
doing
is 3rd and 4. Fitzpatrick now. Got an open man, finds Gibson. And
got a Twitch account, Ed?
They get it inside the 10 to the 7.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage, but now
For some odd reason, it's not popping up on my Streamlabs, what you're saying on YouTube. That's why I was asking if you had a Twitch account.
The field is really
that way you can follow me and
so if he's gonna throw the football,
I can see your chats a lot easier instead of having switched to it.
Has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone. And Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line. because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
McKissick.
Ooh, so close.
A yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Only a yard that time, so now a decision to be made here on 4th and goal. This is a long drive offensively. Wouldn't you hate to end this with just 3 points?
Doesn't it feel like during a ball game you have certain narratives going on and there's certain drives that seem to take on just a bit more importance than others? This feels like one of those, doesn't it? To me, 3 points here, a major letdown. This is the time to go and put 6 on the board.
They'll go. It's Gibson.
There we go. We finally got in, guys.
Antonio Gibson, his 4th touchdown on the year. And Washington has taken a first quarter lead. This defense held out as long as they could, but ultimately the running game wears them down from the 1-yard line.
And that gets set up throughout the entire drive, doesn't it? And when you put those big bodies and determination into that carry, the end result, touchdown.
Hopkins with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. That one in the books as a 12-play drive, and it was polished off by a Washington touchdown.
Ooh yeah. Ooh yeah.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return.
I hope I redeemed myself, doggy.
Second drive. 3-2, their record through the first 5 games of the year as they got the victory last week. It's still early, just October, but what have you seen from these guys so far?
Well, what I've seen is a team that's still figuring out all their pieces because they've got some new faces from a year ago, add in some new draft picks. Sometimes it takes a month or so before you really start to gel as a team and for those players to figure out their roles. But right now, I see them.
Surprised you're not watching your brother, Ed.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. Completes it to Hardman. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
And Kansas City drafted McCall Hardman, hoping he could be something of a Tyreek Hill clone. They're still trying to find his exact niche. He did have 41 catches last year, and he makes a nice one there.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Allen got hurt.
Numbers from last week's contest. 16 carries, 63 yards, and a touchdown.
And to me, the goal is the exact same thing as last week. Get him the ball early and often. I think he's got another big game in him in this one.
2nd and 8 coming up. Mahomes taps this forward. It's a jet sweep. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
And this is
Dang,
just a little
guys.
touch pass. They send the receiver in motion, just kind of tap it forward to him. Now, it doesn't turn into a huge play, but they do pick up a first down. A nice, consistent gain.
First and 10, it's Edwards-Helaire with it. Takes to midfield, but no further, just a yard there. And now time will be called here as Washington has an injured player down on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Still 9 remaining on 2nd down. From midfield, here's Mahomes. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on. 3rd down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Dang it.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Well, Patrick Mahomes, guys, he's playing at such an elite level. Defensively, coming into a game like this, Charles, it's got to be a lot of things, but what worries you the most?
I think you're exactly right about that. The list is extensive about what worries you. The way he can move, make completions on the run, the way he can throw against his body, heck, make left-handed throws, you name it, he gets it done. The biggest thing, though, is once he gets into rhythm, trying to get his timing chipped away, trying to stop that, that is really difficult to do.
Throwing again on second down. Mahomes. And this one caught by Travis Kelce. That catch good for 5. It's third down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete. More problems here on third down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on third down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You got to get it done with your offensive unit.
So the margin shrinks there as they get the field goal to draw them a bit closer here in the second quarter.
Yeah, nice snap, nice hold. They just want to keep this game close, so give them credit for finishing that one off with 3.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now defensively, you've almost got to get down to those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something because right now they're just cutting them to shreds.
That was a run.
All the way down to the 29. 55 rushing yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far. One of the reasons that this team is on this win streak, big runs like that.
When you see runs like that broken off, you know this is a team that's confident running the football. A big reason why this streak has occurred, they've come together, had a plan, and stuck to it. And when you get big-time runs like that, it makes it easier to stay with it, doesn't it?
It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here. Here's Fitzpatrick. That's Samuel, caught left side. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down. Now Fitzpatrick. And this is incomplete. Curtis Samuel, the intended target, but it'll be second and goal.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
Flushed out.
Oh, come on.
It's incomplete.
Well, he certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
Third and goal for Fitzpatrick.
There we go.
Touchdown, Washington. Curtis Samuel, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And Washington able to stretch that lead out even further. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. Extra point good by Hopkins, and that pushes the lead up to 11. So the drive winds up going 75 yards in 7 plays. And the result, a touchdown for Washington. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. Now returning it, Antonio Callaway. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. And Kansas City's offense now set and ready to go. Their deficit is 11, 14-3, and needing to get something going here as they come up on 1st and 10. The drive will begin with a run by Edwards-Helaire.
Damn it.
And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire is a do-it-all back, and he did plenty on that run. And as a rookie, 803 yards rushing for the season in Kansas City may look to up his workload a little bit in year 2.
Oh, come on!
In 2020, he more than justified that selection with his ability to run the football and catch it out of the backfield.
You know, back in the older versions of Madden, it used to be where you switch a player, or go to the person closest to the ball.
Now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Sometimes you get all those big guys down there in one spot, and there's just nowhere to go. And in this case, the defensive tackle used his strength and swallowed him up.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Working from the gun, Mahomes. Taken in here by Powell. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. The Chiefs on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Now Mahomes. It's Hill, complete. And he'll get nothing out of that one. And that is Allen.
Allen just came back.
Appears to be shaken up. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. And this will be spotted on the other side of the field. It's a 61-yard attempt. So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out. And he is going to need to bomb this one. And this will be spotted on the other side of the field. It's a 61-yard attempt. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is.
If he would have kicked a little to the left, he would have barely made it, probably.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though,
Allen keeps getting muscles.
where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
So they tried the 59-yarder and missed it, and now this offense starts just 1 yard shy of midfield. Barber on 1st and 10. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
On 2nd down, a run with Gibson. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. 65 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the 2nd level, because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the 2nd level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
And that's a nice job there, because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Fitzpatrick. And this one incomplete.
Come on.
Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Play fake. It's Fitzpatrick. And he completes this one to Terry McLaurin.
McLaurin caught it, D.
Before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line.
Hey, partner, they're locked in man coverage out left, and they end up running a crossing route. Rounded it a little bit more than a slant. He's just going to angle himself towards the right side of the field, and that's very difficult for a defender to shadow him across all that ground.
They scored touchdowns on drives 1 and 2, and now they're trying to make it a perfect 3 for 3 to start. And this is taken in for a Washington touchdown. Steven Sims, his second touchdown on the season. And Washington going to add on to their lead. So simple math here in the first half. They've had 3 drives offensively, and they have scored every time, and they've got the lead.
Well, whenever we talk about adjustments, we usually talk about an offense making adjustments, right? This is all about the defense. They've got to figure out some way, somehow to slow them down. Do they blitz a little bit more? Do they play more zone coverage? Right now, they don't know where to go because they're hitting them in every direction.
Hopkins with the extra point, and the lead is up to 18 now. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it was polished off by a Washington touchdown. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. Callaway, the return man. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Throwing on first down is Mahomes. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the
You know, guys, I thought Mahomes would have put up more of a
You
fight.
feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old school defense right now. The new school defense is what you said, taking the ball away.
Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. From the gun on third down, Mahomes. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. Always costly to cough up that football. These defenders, they become so adept, though, at jarring it free.
Yeah, it's amazing that there aren't more fumbles caused because now, if you're an offensive player, you go through ball security drills every single day. It's really not out of line to think you should take the ball to bed with you and just hold on to it. But the bottom line is, no matter how much you try to protect it, these guys are pretty good at finding ways to knock it out.
That one is slant to McLaurin. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A big connection on that one. 30 yards.
Big plays are starting to become the trend here in this first half, and everything that they've tried has worked. And there's another example right there.
And he takes it in.
Touchdown before halftime.
Peyton Barber in the final seconds of the first half. And Washington is able to stretch their lead. Well, nothing fancy there, Charles. You had 3 tight ends on the
Still
field.
with me, D?
Run the football. The defense knew it, but the defense couldn't stop them.
And I haven't met an offensive line yet that doesn't get more satisfaction out of running the football into the end zone than pass protecting. They had determination on their side, and they got it done.
Here's Hopkins now for the extra point. And they open the lead up now to 25 points. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it's Peyton Barber that polishes it all off with a touchdown scamper. So 6 seconds, all that remains
shit,
in
this
this
guy
first
kicked it.
half as the kick is away.
Oh, I kind of did.
Callaway, the return man. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The white flag coming out as they line up to kneel on it. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number one. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. A few teams starting to rise to the top as it's time to take you around the NFL here in Week 6. We'll begin up north at MetLife Stadium over in New Jersey. And those two are tied up as they play the second quarter.
Come on, Rams, beat the Giants.
From there, let's get to Philadelphia as we check on the Eagles at home at Lincoln Financial Field. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Tampa Bay Bucks. Colin Kaepernick, a strong performance there, over 300 yards passing with 3 touchdowns in the victory. Finally, let's get to Indianapolis to check on the Colts at home at Lucas Oil Stadium. And that game has gone to halftime with the visiting Texans out on top. The Texans trying to hold on and claim victory. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half?
So Washington in a good spot. They got the lead. They will get the football as the second half gets underway. And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here is Washington now to take over. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and right now looking good in this one as well. They'll start the third quarter here on the ground. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Fitzpatrick's throw taken in by Samuel. And they not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Curtis Samuel exhibited a lot of versatility for 4 years in Carolina. Now in his first year with Washington, expect this football team to try and put the ball in his hands a variety of ways.
A first down throw for Fitzpatrick. Middle of the field, he's got McLaurin. And they'll get this well past midfield.
McLaurin.
And if anyone thinks they're just going to tuck their horns in and pull back off the throttle a little bit, you can forget it. Even with this big third quarter lead, I think this team's going to continue to take their shots downfield, and there's another completion.
Had a bit of a lane there, took advantage of it. Give them 7 there on the first down carry.
7.3 yards per rush.
Staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it. 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They'll go again with Gibson. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on 2nd down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here.
Oh!
Your best running play over your best blocker.
And this pass broken up. The contact well-timed there, and now 4th down. And Ron Rivera, he's going to keep the offense on the field. They're going for it. They'll try it now with Barber. And he will have the first before he's
right on the edge of the red zone.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Fitzpatrick going to give to Gibson. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. To throw, Fitzpatrick. And that is incomplete.
Right in traffic. I was hoping
bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down. An 8-play drive to this point. So here's play number 9 on 3rd and 7. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Sims. And he is going to be stopped at the 12, short of the first down. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. To throw is Fitzpatrick. And he's got his man in stride.
Boom.
Touchdown. Steven Sims Jr. His second touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Washington offense just continuing to pour it on. It took a pretty big risk right there going for it on 4th down. But, hey, not only did they get the first down, forget about that, they got in the end zone.
Yeah, because normally you're just thinking, can I get enough yardage to get it past the sticks and pick up a first down? Instead, they go for the end zone and get it done with no margin for error. Remember, 4th down, they went for it.
Extra point good by Hopkins. And that will extend this big lead. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So here's the Chiefs offense ready for their first reps in half number 2. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
Pretty nice work defensively there on the first down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple.
Not the kind of gain that we'll go absolutely crazy for, but it's the kind of gain that you need to have when you're running back in the NFL. And Clyde Edwards-Helaire with that low center of gravity and strength, he's going to get those tough, gritty yards for you when necessary. You know, sometimes despite the best planning, the defense actually has a plan as well, and they blanketed everyone on that play. They were able to close it down and spill it for a loss.
And going deep for Hill. And that's caught.
Damn.
Onto
the crossbody throws.
Shy of the 30. A bit of a catch for him to remember. That's number 400 for his NFL career. Not a bad number at all. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Mahomes firing complete. That catch good for only a couple.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Meanwhile, Mahomes' throw here complete to Kelsey. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
And again, it's Mahomes. He'll get that complete to Powell.
Okay.
And he will have the Chiefs first down, and he was able to get it by plenty. A gain of 8 on 3rd and 3. Took till the second half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. Mahomes going to throw. And this one too low. He was trying to get it to Tyreek Hill that time. And it's 2nd down.
Okay.
Windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Mahomes complete. The tight end Kelsey. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Mahomes now to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over him.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
35-6 so far.
Kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit third quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
And that one bounces out of the back of the end zone, so we'll start the drive at the 25 on the touchback. Antonio Gibson and the Washington offense ready to go here once more. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the one touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone, and now he's just trying to do it for a second time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage, and again, that second score here in the third quarter. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Fitzpatrick on first down.
Oh, come on.
He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. 2nd and 10. They go play action. Fitzpatrick. That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. And he'll be pulled down, and now a late flag will come with it. And that's in the area of a face mask, I think. They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
This is caught. Touchdown, Washington.
Woo!
Terry McLaurin, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And this Washington offense continuing to add to their lead.
You have fun with this one, partner?
Yeah, but he's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone, this guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up.
4 touchdown passes, carving them up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone. On is Hopkins now for the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And the result, a touchdown for Washington. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. Callaway, the return man. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line.
Go, guys.
You said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
And not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the fourth. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Mahomes. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
I think this one offensively, this is one where you just say, let's move on. Let's not even watch the game tapes from this one.
Yeah, you might just want to throw it in the trash, act like it was never there in the first place.
Yeah, just say we're good. I actually have heard of a coach in the past who took his team out to the practice field and ceremonially buried the game films from the prior game when they got clobbered. That was his way of putting it behind them.
Here's the Chiefs punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. This is taken at the 10. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards.
20 yards, man.
Offense as they take over. A time again to see Terry McLaurin in the Washington offense. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
84 yards rushing for him now, as he has been tremendous all day long. Play action now. Fitzpatrick. They'll find his tight end, Seals Jones. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be third down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. Here's Hill on the return.
Oh, come on, tackle him.
And nice work on the return as he gets about 15 yards back. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. And now here comes Kansas City. Even though they were able to force the punt defensively, still a big hole to climb out of, especially at this late stage of the contest. Now a throw for the All-Pro Kelsey is complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. They fake the give. Now Mahomes. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
7 yards, the pick up there. Now it's Mahomes again. Gets this one to Hill.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Steps away to his left. Even with him busting through the contact, he'll still be stopped just inside the 35. 2nd and 6. Throwing now is Mahomes. Throw left side complete. That's Powell. And they're going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 22-yard line.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Mahomes now on 1st down. The tight end Kelsey has it over the middle. And they'll get this down to the 10. Just 2 minutes remaining.
2-minute warning.
It's been a one-sided
2-minute
affair.
warning.
So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Mahomes now on 1st down. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete.
Way behind his man.
At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverage.
And he's across.
All
for
good.
a touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. Extra point by Butker is on target as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25.
And Washington going to come back out here to take over offensively. And it would seem as if their 3-game winning streak is about to go to 4, but still a little work to do as they start 1st and 10.
And he will lose yardage and be
What?
back to the 24. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
When a draw works,
Nice.
it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
On 2nd down, it's Gibson. And he'll get this one up to the 26. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
And a throw.
Seriously?
Incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage. And just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
Here's Tressway now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Now here's Mahomes. Caught, Kelsey, left side. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. Looking to throw is Mahomes.
Another pass into the reliable hands of Kelsey.
And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game.
Come on, 52's the mic, boys. 52. 52's the mic right here over there.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Mahomes. It's Kelsey on the ground. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. One final try for Mahomes.
That's who is running back, Edwards-Helaire. And he will have a Chiefs 1st down. As
We got the win. We got Mahomes in check.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Washington,
their strong start to the year continues as they're up to 5-1. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, for the Chiefs, the loss here will move them back to 500 at 3-3. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Nashville. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and
There we go. That was last week's.
The guys I lost 47 to 51 of my guys. In 2000, there was 8 of us sitting together at the Super Bowl. Right before the national anthem, one of my friends, Peter Garofalo, he said, look at all these people and always having in the back of our mind what happened in 93 when the first explosion hit. Peter said, imagine if there was some sort of attack here. There's 80,000 people here. And Joe Clovatello said, no, they're coming back to get us in that building. That's what he said. And that stuck in my head. Little did we know what was to happen.
He was seeing that skyline without the towers. It upset you to the core. Our innocence was lost in a day. So that tie, we ended up going over as a group. That tie, Team St. Patrick's at 5:30 just to reflect and pray and try to help him work through the anger and horror that he was facing as an individual.
Giants offensive lineman Jason Whittle was also there for someone in need. On the morning of the terrorist attacks, his best friend's brother, Randy Drake, was hit with debris when the plane hit the South Tower. Randy was in critical condition, but none of his family from Missouri could be with him because all flights were grounded.
I made the call to Jason and said, look, Randy, he may
Calling
not make it
back.
tonight, and can you be there? And of course, there was no, hesitation.
So I went up to the George Washington Bridge, and they had it completely shut down. And so I went down to the Lincoln, and then the Holland, and then I think I tried going to the other bridge, and they just had everything shut down. It was probably 12:30 by the time I got back up to the George Washington Bridge. They weren't letting anybody in unless you were family. I told the police officer that was there that, I played for the Giants, and it was my brother. He thought about it for a second, and he took me across the George Washington Bridge at about 100 miles an hour. Then he dropped me off to another policeman, and then he drove me the rest of the way down to the hospital.
Alright, guys, I'm going to take a break. I have to use the restroom and get something to drink. I will be right back. Hello, hello. I'm making myself a drink. W. Go to, where is it? Go to www.gg. Use code WICKED10 for 10% off your order. This shit is really good, man. Mix my drink here, and we'll get back to playing this Washington football team. Alright, let's get to it. Alright. The Packers are 1-5, and I think they have Aaron A-Rod still as their starting quarterback. Yep. Here we go, guys.
Today, from Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin, it's Week 7 of the NFL on EA Sports.
Playing against my favorite team.
Stadium in the NFL as you get a look inside Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Today we've got a matchup here in pivotal Week 7 between the Washington football team and the Green Bay Packers. They had no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Now we get a look at Aaron Rodgers as he gets set to lead this Green Bay Packer offense. Rodgers now in his 17th season in the league, and of course, coming off the MVP trophy.
I loved our discussion this week. You know, we had our weekly phone call to talk about our game coming up, and we had to reflect on the fact that he won the NFC Offensive Player of the Week award last week yet his team lost. You don't see that very often.
No, I know a lot of people dislike that, but when you look at the numbers across the conference from last week, he was clearly the best. So I say the award goes to him.
Hey,
Yeah, I agree with you
Jones.
totally. He was so good, they just couldn't ignore him.
The numbers on the ground for Jones last week. 15 carries, 69 yards.
They've lost a bunch of games in a row now. They've got to start thinking a little bit differently, maybe a little bit outside of the box. Find other ways to move the football. I don't know if you're going to do it through the air or maybe change up how you establish your
Yeah.
And he stopped immediately there. They'll say no gain on the play there. Now it'll be third down. Well, this Washington defense, Charles, terrific in the victory a week ago.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
Third play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Rodgers now to throw.
Oh, I had him.
And he's going
But
to
he
have the
escaped it.
Packers first down. They needed 5 there on 3rd down. He winds up getting 7. And Charles, this defense, they know that they've got their work cut out for them. Here's a quarterback coming off a game in which he threw 4 touchdowns. They've watched the tape all week. They've seen it, but what can they do differently?
I think they've got to approach it like a pitcher facing a really hot batter. Get comfortable in the box. Change speeds, change locations, change the pitches you throw at him. So show different coverages, blitz sometimes, drop back other times. Just don't let him get comfortable or let him get into rhythm. Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game. So what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels. Because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
And pressure gets to him, he will go down. Chase Young. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10.
This young man, Chase Young, has it all. Speed, power, and a full arsenal of moves to get to the quarterback. The Defensive Rookie of the Year in 2020, he had 7.5 sacks that season. They expect plenty more in the future.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Chase Young able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. Greg Stroman back deep for Washington. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. And it's fielded at the 34. That'll be a 41-yard punt, just 1 yard on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Washington offense about ready to go to work. And at quarterback in his 17th season now in the NFL, piloting his 9th different franchise, it's Ryan Fitzpatrick.
And they are in rhythm on offense.
When practice started again, the Giants still felt the lingering effects of 9/11.
There wasn't the usual noise in practice. Very quiet and solemn. We struggled through the experience.
But the team's attitude soon changed.
Something hit me at that point. I said, you know what? I'm going to call the Giants. So I called the Giants' main number, and I asked for Ernie Accorsi, and I left him a voicemail. I gave it to Boss old Pat Hamlin, and I said, it's up to you if you want to play this for the players. And they did.
Because of him. I mean, right now, he's got everything going the way he wants to, finding the receivers the way he wants to, looking over defenses. No interceptions is the number I lock in on. The 4 touchdown pass isn't so bad either.
Yeah, what a game he had last week. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. The numbers on the ground for Gibson a week ago. 14 carries, 87 yards, and a touchdown.
He's having a nice season, and he knows where he ranks in the league. Don't ever let a running back tell you that they don't know that. They do. So what he's doing now is lobbying the offensive coordinator all week long. Hey, how about a few more touches? He's
gets him to the 42. It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on third down. Fitzpatrick to throw it. Over the middle, it's Thomas. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first.
That throw's not going to get them a whole lot, but that really didn't matter, did it? They got what they needed on that throw. Picked up the first down, and I'm going cliche here. Game of inches, partner.
Absolutely. And you talked to me a lot about opening drives, how key those are to set the tone. You kept the drive alive. Third down conversion here's big. Adrian Amos up to make the tackle. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Fitzpatrick now.
Oh. But this is intercepted.
Picked off near the 42. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line.
So this is something we didn't see at all from this offense in the victory last week. That's a turnover. They didn't have any, but giving the ball away here in the opening quarter.
I love the surprise in your voice because it's exactly what you stated. Didn't see it last week, but it's a key to their win. And it'll be a key to this game as well, protecting the football. Didn't get it done there.
7 yards to pick up there.
On second down, it's Jones. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And
yes!
Jones is not going to have the first down as they stop him short. They'll be marked inches short. No gain on the play, and that's going to lead them to 4th down.
God dang it, LaFleur.
I apologize in advance, partner, but the beefeaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were licking their chops on 3rd and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a first down.
Well, we got beefeaters licking their chops and tasty dish in one fell swoop.
I did apologize in advance, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. That line's not eating tofu. I'll tell you that much for free. Throwing on first down is Rodgers.
That's taken in by the tight end, Josiah DeGuara.
And he'll go out of bounds
inside the 15-yard
line.
I know I spent a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. And he used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
And that one drops down, incomplete.
Finally broken up with Aaron Rodgers' pass.
Free, and it's 2nd down.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Rodgers to throw once more. And that's going to be incomplete.
Well, to me, there was no question about the intent there, and I think he was a little fortunate that the penalty flag didn't come out for grounding. But he'll get away with it and get another shot on 3rd down.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down.
Yes!
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Strong coverage by Washington, and now 4th down. And Crosby puts it through, and the Packers are off to a 3-0 lead.
So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice win for them. They forced the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
Fitzpatrick and the rest of the Washington offense back out onto the field.
He'll look to shake off the interception on the opening drive. He should at least be comforted that it resulted in 3, not 6.
And if I were him, I would be the guy all the way out on the field greeting my defense now, saying thanks a lot. You held him to a field goal after I turned it over. That's a big defensive stand for them. He needs to go out now and make up for what he did on the first drive.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.
They'll run here with Gibson.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. And that one was
was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
And a little bit of space there for the first down run, as that's going to get him about 5 yards.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure you're back. You spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move.
What the hell? Come on. Catch the fucking ball.
For a significant chunk of yardage. I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. He gets it to Thomas. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
They brought in a heavy set on 3rd down, and that usually means running play. But we have seen them throw out of that formation. And sure enough, they snuck the tight end out on that one. Wound up hitting him for a first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Oh.
And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop his shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, it makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
The Packers bringing in an extra member of the secondary here to try for the 3rd down stop. They'll run with McKissick. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26.
That's about what you would expect since they're so efficient on picking up 3rd downs in the top 5 in the NFL. It's all a mindset, and I guarantee you, it started in the offseason. 3rd down's important to them. They find a way to pick them up at a very good clip.
And he will find his man, Samuel. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. And it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Here's Barber. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to
touchdown.
Touchdown! Washington.
Samuel, his 6th touchdown of the season. And Washington has taken the lead. Good bounce back.
He's back.
Right there through the pick on drive number 1. Drive number 2 leads them right down the field into the end zone.
Agree totally. Excellent bounce back. Tremendous poise. Confidence never lost.
Bean.
And obviously he transmitted that to his teammates as well. What a really nice drive.
Hopkins with the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. A 10-play drive that time. And it was polished off by a Washington touchdown. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. Taken at the goal line. And he returns this to the 22. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
On 2nd down now. It's Jones.
Yeah.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. This will be a loss of 3 and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. Throwing now now is Rodgers. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams.
Dang it.
And he's going to have a Packers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass treat in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Earlier this half, you were wondering how the defense was going to handle him defensively. Were they going to bottle him up at different levels, so to speak, is what you said. What have you seen so far?
Well, I think they've been absolutely terrific because it feels like on every play, if we were watching this in the film room, when they clicked off the film or stopped it, you would see 11 shirts of that same color right there in the frame trying to tackle it. That's what you're looking for.
2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3, our score. Now a first down carry by Jones. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
2nd down, another shot for Jones. And he's going to get this inside.
Come on, guys.
That's how you get right up off of the mat, because on the last play, they stoned him in the backfield and dropped him for a loss. But he's the type of guy that scared me a little bit because he's not daunted. Just got right back up, showed some confidence, and picked up a first down with his very next run.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. A throw complete to the tight end, Tunyon. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Into the red zone. It's Rodgers. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. But it looked like a Packer. Yeah, Packer was able to get this back, and they'll indeed keep possession. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in the first half. The fumble on 1st down. Now here's 2nd down.
Stop your whining. My 52, my 52.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. And it's a Packers
Dang
touchdown.
it.
Alan Lazard, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And once again, the Packers, they're back out in front. Crosby with the extra point, and the lead is now 10-7. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive, and it ends with a Packers touchdown. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Washington going to go on offense now late in this first half. And with a little under a minute to go, they may try and work their way into field goal range and try to tie up this ball game. Winds up and lets it go for Samuel. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Now, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
And Washington now going to use the 1st of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Fitzpatrick. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. First down, Fitzpatrick. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. And he's going to have a first down, and they get into field goal range here at the 29. 18 yards on each of the last 2 plays, and they're picking up big chunks now.
Again, it's Fitzpatrick. Now a leaping catch. He's got it. Now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. From the gun, Fitzpatrick.
What the hell?
Intercepted.
Where the fuck is pass interference?
And the Packers are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
So we're at halftime here at Lambeau with the Packers taking the lead to the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here as some of the division races starting to take shape as we look around the NFL here in week number 7. We'll begin up north at MetLife Stadium over in New Jersey, and it's the Giants who are out in front. Darius Slayton, a touchdown reception. From there, we head up to Foxborough to check on the Patriots at home at Gillette Stadium, and they have the lead over the visiting New York Jets. Cam Newton with a couple of touchdown passes there. Finally, let's get to the country music capital of the world. See what's happening with the Titans at home in Nashville. In that matchup, all even in their battle with the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through?
Washington down on the scoreboard, but they are getting the football first here, and we are back underway on EA Sports. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Fitzpatrick and the rest of the Washington offense back out onto the field. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say, well, get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter.
Come on, guys. Block for me.
Now can they get the other 3 here on third down? Throwing Fitzpatrick. And that ball incomplete.
Come on, guys.
Took a chance with that one. It'll lead to a 4th down. Now the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3.
Where the hell is the pass interference? Come on. It was all over, dude.
So certainly an interesting call there to go.
Jesus Christ.
Going to get the football back in excellent field position. Rodgers now on first down. Slant to Adams.
Come on.
And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. A big play there on the catch and run.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
Here's Rodgers to throw. Yeah, he's got it. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
Jesus Christ, come on, guys.
Try to really help to have a guy who can turn it loose. And boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
On 2nd and goal. Rodgers to the end zone, but it's incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
So they opted to pass for it on 3rd and goal. Let's see what they do on 4th and goal.
Well, I think they threw it with the idea that if they didn't get it, they would go for it on 4th and goal. So they got another play in their pocket. They're going to have to call it right now. No field goal here.
So it was a 3-point lead at halftime, and they doubled that with a field goal here.
And I think defensively, you've got to be okay with that because you've kept this game within a touchdown. Your hope is that you've inspired your offense to put a drive together, get in the end zone themselves, and hopefully get you.
Come on, offense.
The Washington offense set to take over. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold on their end.
They'll run with Gibson, and he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Over the middle, and it's in.
The fuck, Fitzpatrick? Come on, dude.
Playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
And Fitzpatrick's throw complete there to Thomas. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion and would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. A handoff for Gibson. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
And Fitzpatrick's throw taken in by Samuel. And down inside the 15 he goes.
I love the drive they're working on here because they know they can take the lead with a touchdown. And so far on this drive, so good. They moved the ball down the field with very little resistance defensively. But they better be prepared for some adjustments to come their way now.
This to McLaurin out on the left side. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. 7 yards, the pickup there. 2nd down from the 8. They can get a first down by reaching the 5.
It appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do in that one as a receiver is got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
3rd and short yardage, Fitzpatrick. Touchdown, Washington.
Yes.
Steven Sims, his 4th touchdown on the year. And Washington has tied the ball game with the extra point still to come. Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting run, so much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
Gummy, 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 gummy bear.
Throwing the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. Green Bay's offense ready to go again. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Set the tone, defense. Let's go. Hey, Mike 52. Mike 52. Here we go.
Now Rodgers. It's caught here by Adams. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch.
Oh, come on!
On the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Look at him fucking running. Tackle his ass. Jesus Christ.
Well, there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the 4th quarter, picking up the 1st.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time, and that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field,
Come
and
on,
realizing
guys.
that it was time to exit the pocket and go.
A gain of 6 there on 1st. From the 38, Rodgers. That is caught. It's the
Christ, come on, dude.
And they're going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 14.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Caught on the right side by Jones. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. So it goes as a completed pass, but they lose a full 5 yards. To throw again on 2nd down. Rodgers looking sideline, incomplete. And now following the incomplete pass, we'll get a timeout here for an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down. Have to kick this field goal, don't you?
No question about it. Look at the clock. Look at the situation. Kick the field goal.
The kick by Crosby is good. And with that...
Wow, this is an edgy seat game. Holy moly.
So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
The Washington offense back out there. And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this 4th quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game. Now a throw over the middle, and he's got it to start the drive. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Had to put that ball in there with a little extra zip, but he put it right where it needed to be.
Yeah, and that little extra pace that he had on the pass, that required a little extra concentration for him, didn't it? Ball can get on you pretty quick in that manner, and he handled it well and picked up the 1st down.
And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Here's McKissick. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
2nd and 5 now. Fitzpatrick. Packer
On, guys.
Was it Darius Smith there getting in and bringing him to the ground?
And any offensive lineman getting ready to come Green Bay, including 12.5 in 2020.
And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 37. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Now Fitzpatrick. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
That's an excellent play by the defender. He diagnosed that one, closed quickly, and helped force the incompletion.
They will run it. It's McKissick. And he'll wind up picking up about 4 as that is going to bring us to the 2-minute warning. So it's Washington with the football here as we welcome you back. They face a critical 3rd down now, needing a score here in the late going. That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 22-yard line. Well, they have had no answer for this connection all night long.
Hey, you just have to think in a 2-minute situation, that's got to be a concentration lapse. You know they're going to go back to him with the game that he's been having.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
On 2nd down, here's Gibson again. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Fitzpatrick. Yeah, this pass broken.
What the fuck?
Excellent coverage there on 3rd down as that was not an easy one to hold on to. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Completes it to Samuel. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And the question now, how do they want to work the clock here on 1st and goal? A field goal would give them the late lead. They'll run with Gibson. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. They go back to the ground, this time Barber. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3.
I have to laugh a little bit because he actually handed it off. I thought with the 2 touchdown passes he's thrown in this one already, he'd go ahead and fling and try and get a 3rd one.
Yeah, now from this spot on 3rd down, I think he'd probably throw it here.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about it. They won't even send in a running play here, I don't believe. I think they go ahead and try and throw it for a touchdown.
Shows what you know.
For the lead, here's 3rd and goal. They'll try to run with Gibson. He pushed forward, but I don't think it's enough. He's going to be about a yard short. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. And we are set for a
a great finish as that timeout comes in with 2 seconds to go in this football game. So now it all comes down to Dustin Hopkins. 2 seconds on the clock. This for the win. And it is good. He splits the uprights on the
Oh, that was the closest game I think I've ever played.
Smiles in Georgetown tonight as Washington has won it. So a victory here for the Washington football team. And we talk so much about the turnover battle, determining who wins, who loses. This game, no exception. Air-free football, no turnovers at all, and they win it.
So this is one you don't have to convince your team that what you're saying is accurate. And you know what I'm talking about. Head coach always stands up in front of the team and says, guys, if we do this, this, and this, we'll win. And usually they say if we win the turnover battle, we'll win. Well, here's the proof right there. Win the turnover battle. Go on to victory. Now the guys believe. You move on to the
Game
next
must be
lesson
drunk
where you have
because
to
I didn't
convince
win the
them
turnover
this one is
battle
now
and I still
planted.
won.
So for Washington, they remain one of the hottest teams out there as the win moves them to 6-1. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Mile High to take on the Broncos. Meanwhile, for Green Bay, things are definitely going south quickly as they fall now to 1-6. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Glendale to take on the Cardinals.
Hey, yeah. All right, guys. So next Sunday we'll have the Denver Broncos week by Tampa Bay Buccaneers and possibly the Carolina Panthers. See who we can upgrade. Upgrade him. Upgrade him. So far, we've only lost one, and that was to the Giants. Like I said, next Sunday we'll be playing the Broncos. We'll have bye week. We'll have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and possibly the Carolina Panthers. And then we'll see what we have in the next couple weeks. Surprised we're doing as good as we can. Yeah, the Packers game was our closest game. The second closest was the Chargers. The only loss so far we've had was against the Giants. Hopefully we can pick that up later in the season. Broncos bye week, Buccaneers, and possibly the Panthers next Sunday. Sunday after that probably be Seahawks, Raiders, Cowboys. Week after that is Eagles, Cowboys, Eagles, and possibly the Giants. Or so probably about another month to finish this playthrough. And we'll get through it, guys.